Hello there guys, it's Q Arts here. Today we'll be doing a history of the DA5. Now, before we get into this video, I would like to make a definition of what the DA5 actually is. DA5 stands for Dank Army 5, and basically it is just a bunch of teenagers who really ain't shit actually. But other than that, the D5 mostly consists of Darwin, Quincy, Salty, Elian, Chris, and Geometrical Gamer probably, and Sleepy. I don't really know who Sleepy is. I mean I do remember him, but he wasn't really shit like that. And Hudson. Hudson is the worst. Hudson is the worst member. He shouldn't have been in there in the first place, but he is. So basically the DA5 started with Darwin. Darwin basically created the DA5, and when he created it, he made a Discord server. Now, Discord was usually the main headquarters for the DA5. They will make servers and they will run those servers. Actually, it was only two servers, but other than that, there were servers. These two servers consisted of the DA5 server and Hudson server, which was a shit server, but we'll get to that later. The DE5 server had a long history. I don't know. I came there in the late times, but it mostly consisted of Hudson, Eline, Sleepy. That's probably about it because Hudson found Darwin when he was doing a Battle Cat stream and they liked Battle Cats, and then they decided to team up, and that was probably the worst mistake Darwin could ever do, but he did it, and now Hudson is officially in the DA5 with his dumbass Diap.io PFP. I don't know what game it was from. I don't know which IO game it was from. But it was from some IO game. I can't remember. And then shortly after, Lion joined the DA5, and he's a really cool member. I really respect him. His choices in life. I really respect the way that he talks, the way that he carries himself. He's a meme guy, and I like meme people. All right, that's very nice. All right. This is also when typical John Gamer entered the scene. Now, I don't really have much of like a picture of him because I never really copied his PFP and saved it. So I just have this question mark right here because I really don't know what he looks like right now, and I really can't remember what he looked like. But I think he was probably just a little kid. Probably. I don't know. I never really examined his personality that much. He was just a guy that we knew when he was in it, and that's basically it. Um, this is also when Awesome Kid started joining out. Darwin has a lot of respect for Awesome Kid, probably because he's a kid and he's awesome. I don't really know why, but yeah, Awesome Kid was also part of the DA5, and he was a really cool dude, but eventually he left. He just disappeared, and we never really heard from him again. A lot like that. Chris also joined the DA5. Now, Chris is kind of like a no nonsense guy. He has a girlfriend named Charlotte, stuff like that, but I really couldn't care less. I disrespect his relationship. I really couldn't care less. He's kind of an asshole towards me. But other than that, he is part of the DA5, which means that he must be respected at all times. I did have a little incident with him when he was banning me from a server for no reason. That kind of pissed me off. But other than that, Chris and I are cool at sometimes. And sometimes we're alright. Alright, and sometimes we are alright. Um, let's see here. That's actually, all of these people that I have just mentioned, including myself, kind of the base of the Down DA5. I entered the DA5 when I found Darwin on a stream because one of my friends at school told me, hey, Darwin has a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, really? So then I went to check it out, and he was live streaming, and I was like, hey man, what's up, man? I was your friend. And then he invited me into the DA5, and that's how I joined. And I eventually became a founding member of the DA5, even though I joined late because I was this man's best friend, basically. So these people are basically the base of the DA5. All right, geometrical gamer would soon join and stuff like that. Um, but I'd say that's pretty much it of the DA5. Other than there was an era when the DA5 had a lot of girls around for no reason whatsoever. For no reason, alright? Those girls, I can only remember a few. I think that was more, but I can only remember D3. The girls consisted of Duke. It was DUK. It was a stupid name, but it was a girl nonetheless. Salty and Sammy the Kawaii Potato, but later she'll just be referred to as Sammy, or also referred to as bitch. So Duke Duke wasn't really in the DA5. She was like her own little thing and she left. She left us. Sammy Sammy was kind of in the DA5 a little bit. She wasn't really in it, like she was just around. Like the same reason of why Black Widow was in the Avengers, only to look at ass. But other than that, Sammy wasn't really around for a lot, and she was kind of bitchy in a lot of ways, so we kind of let her go after a while. She had this boyfriend named, I literally forgot this man's name. This man's name was Raisin. Yeah, those things that they put in cookies that do not taste good at all. Yeah, him. So you obviously know he was shit. He wasn't really it. Um, I don't think it was Raisin. His name started with a K, and apparently he was abusing Sammy, but nobody really cared about that. Now Salty was the main girl, right? Even though that Darwin hates Salty, because hey, let's be honest, Darwin hates everybody. Darwin hated Salty, but Salty was in fact an official member of the DA5, and she was only around just for sexual jokes, and that's basically it. She was only around for Hudson to gawk at. And now that we are at the point of Hudson, this is when the Dark Ages began for the DA5. So the main three members of the DA5, or at least the main active people of the DA5, were Hudson, me, and Darwin. Now Hudson had a server like I have mentioned previously before, and the thing about Hudson's servers is that, well, me and Darwin wouldn't really be able to survive in these servers because Hudson's children who had high roles, they would usually ban us from the server for little to no reason, and this is when the real dark ages start to begin. This is when the enemies started pouring in. All right. Now the reason why Hudson let this happen sometimes was because, I'm gonna be completely honest, Darwin and I were dicks to him. We did used to bully him, and we did used to call him names. Um, Way farther in the future as to now, I really don't want to be Hudson's enemy right now, but at the same time we went through something, and he's kind of mad at me right now, but I really couldn't give less of a shit, so yeah, that's all that. But back to the past, um it was really hard in Hudson's server because the Dark Ages basically began as okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. The Dark Ages, I'm gonna stop saying that. Every time me and Darwin would have a role, that role would probably be removed. Most of the time, it was a high roll, and we wouldn't really do anything with it. We just wanted a high roll. In fact, no, the only reason why me and Darwin wanted a role, such as admin and stuff like that, was because me and Darwin were simply tired of getting banned from the people in Hudson's server who just thought that they were shit, and they really ain't. These people, the first main enemy of the DA5 was a guy named Rect. Now Rect was a little kid. He did not know what he was doing. He got us severely pissed off all the time because he had this devastating role, and it is a role that I will always remember in my history of Discord. It was called the True Co-Owners, and when he had this role, he like every time somebody would make him mad, he would just ban that person for no reason, just because he was mad. Now, obviously, when you have power, you have to be responsible with that power. You can't just go willy nilly on somebody just because you don't like them. No, you have to be responsible with that power. But Rect wasn't like that. In fact, no, most Discord mods and admins are not like that. So Rect was he was an asshole. I remember this one night he banned like four people for no reason, including me and Darwin. That pissed us off, and I roasted him on my channel. And he was like, "Man, who the hell are you, man? Like, you just stupid." But we forgot about him later on. The next enemy was N. Now N, we still know N to this day. N also had the true co-owner's role, and he was basically the same as Rect, only that he was kind of worse because I think that he was actually the one who got me banned off Discord itself one time. But that's still of a mystery. Okay, you know what I mean? Like that event when it took place, it really hurt, and I wanted to know who the hell did it. And it was, because my intentions will probably end because one time I spammed in like an empty Discord server of his, and I guess he reported me for that, and I got banned. But I really don't know who did it. It could have been Hudson, it could have been anybody. But N was also an enemy because he would basically use his powers just like Rect, just use them irresponsibly, and he even to this day, the same thing isn't really happening with him and us. Instead, that whenever he wants something, he continuously begs us for it. Like sometimes, he would harass me and ask me for shit, and I don't want to do it. Sometimes he asks Hudson for roles, and Hudson hates him because he always asking for something. And a person like that is really a person who's just annoying, honestly. So yeah, Ed was also a main enemy. He was also, he was like the second coming of Rect. And I don't know if he was worse or better, but he was definitely in between, somewhere. Alright, now, Hudson actually had a girlfriend. This girlfriend's name was Emily. Now, Emily, she was cool, but she wasn't that cool. Because it came to a point where it was just stupid. Darwin hated Emily because every time Emily would see Darwin spamming in a server that nobody was talking in, Emily would immediately get on him and tell him to spam in a spamming server. And Darwin would get mad, and they would roast each other, stuff like that. Me and Emily personally back then, we were cool, but she started this fun fact thing, which was retarded, and it pissed us off a little bit. So me and Darwin decided to like talk some shit about her in the chat, and Emily side, and she thought that Hudson was supporting it, so then she broke up with Hudson. I couldn't really care about that, and the whole war started. All right, Emily was another enemy for me and Darwin. Not really Hudson, because Hudson cared about her, but we didn't. So Emily was another enemy, but eventually we forgot about her. Alright, now the status that the DA5 was at right now, Awesome Kid probably left by now. Typical John Gamer probably left by now. Geometrical Gamer probably went on with his own shit. And Salty is still around to this day actually. She is still around. Okay, she's only around for like the sexual like jokes and stuff like that. So of course we're gonna keep her around. Alright? But it was at this point where it was Hudson, me, Darwin, and Eli and Chris. Chris, he didn't really stay that active in the day fight that much. We kind of forgot about him a little bit. So yeah, that happened. Elian is still around. I actually forgot one member of the DA5, Doge. I can't remember when Doge joined, but it's probably around the timeline of when Chris or Lion joined. So Doge was also a member. You know, he was a cool dude. All right, and eventually we kind of forgot about him because everybody just left to do their own thing basically. So okay, so Lion is still around, but he's doing his own thing as well. So basically, it came down to me, Darwin, and Hudson. And Hudson, like Hudson basically became a little bit of an enemy because me and Darwin didn't really like him. Darwin used to like bully him, and so did I. Eventually, I came to the realization of why am I bullying this guy? It makes no sense. That's not who I am. So eventually, I came to the conclusion that I just don't want to be Hudson's enemy anymore. But Darwin still hates Hudson, and we would roast each other sometimes. We would get into wars between each other sometimes. But it's kind of like a cycle. We fight and then we become friends again, and that's just what keeps happening. So eventually, Darwin made a crippling decision. Decision. Oh, I don't know how to say my words. He made a choice. He decided to quit Discord. Not too long ago, he quit it. And the DA5 right there probably just broke up. Like everything probably just shattered. Because Darwin DA5 left Discord. And it was only me and Hudson left. And other than that, that's probably it. The DA5 was nothing really anymore. It only consisted of me, Hudson, and Salty, and even Lion. But other than that, the DA5 was kind of gone, and that's basically it. That is the history of the DA5 and the many adventures they have gone through on Discord. So it was a very long journey, and I really did enjoy it. I really enjoyed being in this group. It was a lot of fun. And I really hope that one day we could all look back on these memories and see how much they impacted us and stuff like that and just laugh back at them. Even if we are still enemies, we could just laugh back at these memories, of how we fought Turkey, we fought Sammy and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Sammy was a little bit of an enemy, but yeah, she just left. But other than that, that is the history of the DA5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I'll be doing more videos like these. I don't know if I will, but other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope all of you have a great day. All right. Oh yeah, Kaito was also a member. Yeah, Kaito was also a member of the DA5. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. Okay, bye.